Good morning and welcome to the Midweek Mini. As you know, we've been doing a series on Black Widow killers, but I'm going to give that a rest for this week. And today we're going to be counting down the top trending costumes, movies, and candies for this Halloween season. So let's get things started. Shh. Triple M Studios proudly presents the Midweek Minis. Here's your host, Andrea. Now, television shows and movies, they do have a lot of influence on what costumes are popular each year. And in the 90s, we saw a lot of Barney, the big purple dinosaur walking everywhere, especially on the little ones. And over the years, the trends have went from one extreme to another. Not to mention how sophisticated the designs have become over the years. You know, back in the 70s, our costumes were made out of that plastic stuff that you had to wear clothes underneath. And God, you couldn't even breathe in those masks. And that just reminded me of a costume that our mama made for us one year. Now, I think she had seen it on like Sesame Street or another kid's show. But anyway, it was a robot costume. Now, she took these pretty big cardboard boxes and she covered them with tinfoil. I mean, you know, silver. Robots are silver, right? So, for the blinking lights that was on the front of a robot, she used balloons because that's what they had used on the ones that she had seen on TV. So, you know, Halloween rolls around, she takes us trick-or-treating, and when we were coming back up our street, my little sister got tripped up on something and she fell forward. But all you could hear was the pop of the balloons on the front of that box. Now, you know, if that happened these days, people would think it's gunfire and probably be hunkering down and I don't know. But anyway, now, you know, I guess maybe you had to be there for it to be funny. But y'all, I don't think I ever laughed so hard up until that point of my life. And my laughing just made her mad, and I guess she was embarrassed, but it was lots of fun. Now, another year, I dressed up as Casper, and she was Tinkerbell. It was those plastic costumes that I was talking about earlier. And I think one year I was maybe Raggedy Ann. Now, in college, I remember I had this real cute, sexy little Red Riding Hood costume. Now, I still love to get dressed up in costumes for Halloween. And this year, I've changed my mind like at least 3 times on what I wanted to be. Now, at one point, I wanted to be Winnie from Hocus Pocus. That was earlier this year. But I didn't have anyone that wanted to be Mary or Sarah, so I didn't think that would be very, very fun. Now, by anybody or anyone, I mean Alex and Nick, they wouldn't go for it. And I also bought the costume to be Daphne from Scooby-Doo. But I just wasn't feeling it. I just didn't feel like it was for me. Maybe next year. I don't know. But I finally decided that I want to be a witch again. But this is going to be really cool because I got this really cool Venetian mask. And it's a Venetian witch mask off of Amazon. I've always thought the Venetian masks were really pretty. So I just had to look one day. I was on Amazon and I was like, I wonder if they have Venetian witch mask, and there it was. So I had to have it, and I got it, and it's really beautiful. And I've got this really pretty black dress to wear with it. I wore it last year for a little while on Halloween. I had actually 2 Halloween costumes last year. Last year, when I was handing out candy, I was a witch, but then my daughter had a Halloween costume that night for the grown-ups, and I was Carol Baskin, y'all. I'll have to find the pictures from it, but I'll go ahead while I'm looking for that picture also and look for some of our other costumes that we've been over the years and put them on our social media accounts for y'all to see. But anyway, here's the top 10 list of trending costumes for this year. These were ranked by USA Today. Now, coming in at number 10 is Chucky from Child's Play. Now, that was another one that I had thought about being this year, like a female version of him. And I think that probably would have been fun. Because at the time that I was thinking about it, my hair was still red. I was going to get like a striped shirt and some overalls and maybe some red chucks to wear. But like I said, I've changed my mind like I don't know how many times this year. Number 9 is a clown. Now, it doesn't say Pennywise. It just says clown. But either way, that's going to be a big fat no from me. I don't do the clown thing. Number 8 is Cowboy. Taking place at number 7 is Harley Quinn. And I think that's kind of cute. I just wonder how many little Harley Quinns will come by the house for candy. Number 6 is a fairy. Number 5 is Cruella de Vil. And I'm sure that new Disney Cruella movie helped to boost that one. Number 4 is Spider-Man. And it seems like he's pretty popular every year. It just seems like the streets are just full of Spider-Man this time of year. So he stays up there in the popular costumes. Now, number 3 is Dinosaur. Number 2 is a rabbit. And then y'all coming in at the number one position, it's not a race. But anyway, number 1 is, and I need a drum roll. A witch. So y'all, I'm going to be dressed in the most popular costume for this year. Now, I didn't even know that when I decided on my costume. And like I said, I've been a witch for the past couple of years, at least 3 or 4 years in a row now. Now, Alex isn't dressing up, and he hasn't did a costume in quite some time. And then Nick's decided to be the opposite because he don't usually want to wear a costume, but this year he did, and he's going to be a plague doctor when we hand out candy to the little trick-or-treaters this weekend. Now, moving right on along with our list is the best movies to watch during Halloween. And now I'm just going to say that this list was put together by TV Guide, and they're not ranked. It's just basically just some suggestions, and so they're not in any particular order. But first on their list was the 2016 movie called The Witch. It's the one that on the cover of the movie it's got witch, but it's got 2 V's for the W. Now, I have to say that one is pretty scary and it's worth watching. Now, next on the list is Halloween from 1978. Now, like I was telling y'all a couple weeks ago, Halloween Kills is a new favorite of mine. But that original one, it's just an iconic movie. Jamie Lee Curtis just rocks. That's all I can say. And then we have Trick or Treat. Now, it was released in 2008, and it just came this classic really fast. And we can't have a Halloween movie list without including Beetlejuice. I mean, he is the ghost with the most, y'all. And I have to say that movie never gets old. I can watch it any time of year. It's not just for Halloween. Now, then there's the Scream movie on the list. Now, I have to say those are not my favorites. I mean, it's good, but it's just not my favorite. A lot of other people seem to like it, so, I'm not knocking it. It's just not one of my top favorites. And then we can't leave out Hocus Pocus. Now, if I've watched it once, I've probably watched it at least 100 times. And it's also my mama's favorite, and I think she's probably seen it more times than I have. Now, Coraline is a good one for the kiddos, and it made the list. And Dakota Fanning lends her voice to the starring role in that movie, and it's a really cute movie. Now, you also need to watch Ghostbusters. We can't leave Ghostbusters out at Halloween. It's another one of those iconics that's a favorite of mine from the 80s. So the first one is my most favorite one. Now, I see this one. I can remember watching it maybe once or twice, but this one is posted all over Facebook all day, every day during this time of year, and that's Halloween Town with Debbie Reynolds, and I forget the the little girl's name that's in that movie. But everybody seems to love that. Maybe I need to watch it again because I've kind of forgotten what it's about. Now, another one that I really love, and it did make the list, is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, it's like right up there as one of my favorites. But yeah, it's a little bit weird and it's kind of nutty. But y'all, you just can't do Halloween or the whole month of October by watching it. I mean, honestly, I can watch it any time of year. Now, a few others that weren't mentioned on that TV Guide list that I would like to mention that are just you have to watch during Halloween. One is Practical Magic. Now, it's not like a horror movie or anything like that, but it's like this sweet romance. I mean, there is some, I wouldn't say horror, but like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like suspense, maybe. I guess you could call some of it, is like scary. I don't know why I said some of it twice, but anyway, it is a little, has its moments. Another really good one that is a favorite in this house, and especially a favorite of Nick's, is The Midnight Man. I want to say that I've talked about this movie before. If you've never seen it, check it out. I know that it's usually on Hulu. I had to watch it more than once to figure out everything, not everything, but just get it figured out. But it's really good. Now we've probably watched it a dozen or more times. And then there's Terrifier. Now, it's a clown movie, and that's kind of overwhelming for me. But it's really good. It's creepy. It's kind of gross too, but it's another one of Nicholas's favorites that he has to watch from time to time. Yeah, I'd let my 12-year-old watch horror movies, but hey, Now, we're going to switch gears for our last gear, and it's going to be our Halloween candies. Now, there's not a whole lot of candies I don't like, But anyway, the folks over at Forbes.com gives us this list, and coming in at number 10 is candy corn. Now, I know probably there's some of y'all out there who's like, ew, that's so gross. You just despise that little striped candy. But y'all, I think it's really good. I don't know why so many people are down on candy corn. Like, they just think it's gross or whatever. But y'all, lay off of it. It's really good. Have you even tried it? I mean, that's what I always tell my kids when they say they don't like something. Have you even tried it? Try it if you haven't, and make your decision on it. Number 9 is Tootsie Pops. Those are pretty good. You have to ask the owl, how many licks does it take? Now, number 8 is Snickers, and I have to say that's one of my favorites. I will never turn down a Snickers bar. And actually, one of my favorite snacks is Snickers bar with the Doritos in the red bag. I mean, that's just like the best combination of a snack. Don't ask me how that started. It was a happy accident, but it's really good. I guess it's just that cheesy saltiness with the sweet candy bar. I don't know. The number 7 on the list is Hershey Kisses. And those are, they're simple, but they're really good. Just kind of let it melt in your mouth, like pop it in there and just let it just kind of sit there and melt, those are good. Now, number 6 is another one of my favorites, and that's Sour Patch Kids. And I have the perfect snack combo for that one too. I have to have a Slurpee from the 7-Eleven, and normally it really depends on what all flavors they have at that time, when I go to get that. But normally it's just the red Slurpee with my Sour Patch Kids. I don't know why. It's just a good combo. Try it, Number 5 is hot tamales. And I have to say, that's a candy I'm not a fan of. It just doesn't do anything for me. Now, number 4 is Starburst. Now, I do like Starburst, especially the pink ones. Now, I'll eat the pink ones all day long. And I did see on Amazon that you can get a big, I want to say it was a 3-pound bag of just the pink Starburst. Number 3 are M&M's. Now, it didn't say if it's plain or the peanut. Now, if I had to pick a favorite type of M&M's, mine is the one with peanuts. Now, number 2 is Skittles. And number 1 is Reese Cups. Or Reese's Cups. We've always said Reese for some reason. But anyway, it's Reese's Cups. And y'all, those are like one of the best foods too. Or best snacks too. Got a great big bag of them in the refrigerator right now because I like them cold. But I also have 1,040 pieces of candy ready to hand out this weekend. Yeah, 1,040 pieces of candy. I got it like at Sam's maybe about a week or so ago. And it's good stuff like Snickers, Reese's, Twix, Hershey Kisses, lollipops for the little kids. But I know that sounds like a lot of candy, but I guarantee we probably won't even have one single piece left over because we never do. The way this church street that it's Church Street that we live on, but the way it gets hit by kids every year, and it seems like that number grows more and more. It's unreal. You would just have to see it to believe it. There was one time I came back, Mom was sitting on the porch handing out candy while I took Nicholas, when he was still little, trick-or-treating, and I had to stand in line to get back on my own front porch. It was lined all the way out my driveway. So it's crazy. I don't know that other small towns around here are like that or not. I know a lot of the places have Main Street trick-or-treating, the merchants that own stores on Main Street. A lot of those will hand out candy, and then they do the trunk or treats. But this is just kids coming to houses on my street. But anyway, it's Halloween week. We're getting closer to the big day. Now, that's all I've got for the midweek mini. And like I said, we're going to do doubles today. So later today, we're going to have another Halloween episode. But until then, y'all have a good Wednesday or morning, night, whatever time it is you're listening to this.